Okay, it is it is August 7th, and we have some announcements. And the first one is if you are a newish coach within like a month or so, we have a co online coach academy, new coach academy going on this week. It's being ran by our upline coach. Basically, it's a week long where every single day they're giving you an assignment to do to kind of help you like hit the ground running as a coach, as a brand new coach. So whether you jump in now or whatever, like that group's going to be up for a while. So I would suggest you get in that group if you're a new coach, help you hit the ground running. And then we also have a Push to Emerald group. Do you have dates on that? Is that next week?
Yeah. I am going to run that with one of the girls on Live Free, and we're starting that Monday of next week. So basically, again, this would be for our newer coaches or anyone who has not ranked to Emerald yet. So it's for you, but then it's also anyone that is at Emerald but is pushing for Diamond and wants to go Emerald again. So, which would mean adding 2 more coaches. So it's basically going to be telling you what is Emerald, why is it important, giving you some of the benefits of going Emerald, and then the best way to do that in a short amount of time. So it's going to be quick, just informative. Hitting Emerald is really pretty simple, and so we're just going to kind of tell you that. So I'll plug you guys in that group on Friday.
Sweet. And then at the end of the month, we're going to do a Push to Diamond group. So keep your eyes open for that. I'll make an announcement about that probably next week. So those are our announcements. Do you have any other announcements, Kate?
I don't think so, but I have a new coach on. Can she introduce herself really quick?
Yes.
Hi, guys.
Miss Riley, just tell us your name and why you started coaching.
Okay, I'm Riley. A little backstory is I work as a barista. I don't know where you guys are at, but it's called Dutch Bros. I'm in Boise, Idaho. And so it's kind of like a Starbucks, but really fun, like upbeat and stuff. And so I'm taking this next summer off and fall semester of schooling and starting in the spring. And I was looking for something. I make minimum wage, and I was looking for something to start saving for school so I don't have school debt and all of that. And I had been following Kate for a while. And I was always drawn to her profile just because of how she weaves in her faith with her coaching. And I have done Rodan and Fields before with underneath my mom's best friend for about a year, but I wasn't happy with the team I was under and stuff. But I'm kind of familiar with the multi-level marketing and that side, so I was really drawn to her coaching and what she shared, and so I started talking to her, and I'm excited to start.
Yay, sweet. We're happy to have you. Okay, so what? Kate, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm the one who made the post that we're going to do check-ins, and my thing is downstairs, so I'm going to need to go grab that quick while you start this.
Okay, I will start. Okay, we are going to start doing these super casual check-ins really quick. It's going to help for accountability for all of us. This is not to shame anyone who has not done their week, work, whatever. But basically, we're just going to have you rally through quickly. How many social media posts did you make over the last week? How many invites to a challenge group did you make this week? How many people did you invite to coaching this week? And then, what was the other one? Follow-ups, yeah. And so we're just going to run through those really quick. It's okay to have off weeks. I was on vacation this last week, so my numbers are low. But I'm just going to start. I had 7 Instagram posts this week. 2 of those were coach-based. 2 of those were fitness-based. The rest were casual. Invites, I didn't invite this week because I was on vacation. But I maybe sent 5. So that's an accountability check for next week. I focused more on coaching this week since we have that coaching sneak peek running. And I have been talking to 10 people about coaching this week. and then follow-ups were about 10. So next week, I'm excited to kick it in gear. Who's next? Kate.
I'll go.
Okay, yeah, go, Kylie.
Okay, so let's see. Roughly, as far as inviting, I've invited like 15 people. Yeah. But then as far as follow-ups, I'm in the midst of doing that right now, actually. But about the same, 15. And let's see, what was the other one?
Follow-ups and how many posts you did?
Post 7. Coaching 2. I put 3 or 4 in the coaching sneak peek group, I think. Yeah. Did I answer that question?
Yeah. Great. So this is basically just gonna be really awesome for us to like know that, okay, we're gonna be doing this next week. So let's all try and like up our numbers for the next week. Myself included, because I was slacking.
Also, it's a good reflection. Sorry, I can go next, but it's a good reflection because I'm sitting here just looking at my numbers and I know where I need to improve for next week. So my posts, I've only done 3 in the last 7 days, which isn't terrible, but not where I want to be. And then challenge group invites, I've sent 49. Coaching conversations, I've been running my Instagram sneak peek. So I have 45 there, which is really high for me. That's not normal, but I've been running that and it's been going well. So that's good. And then follow-ups, I've done 64.
Sweet.
Who's next?
Kaylee, you want to go?
Okay, so I've done horrible this week. I'm ashamed. I've only done 1 post, and it was about my son. Had nothing to do with coaching. Follow-ups, I've done about, I lost count, 5 to 10. Invite to coaching, 5, and invites to challenge group, about 5. I'll have those numbers.
Next.
I'll go. So I did 1 post on Instagram, but I've done a ton of stories. So I've kind of been focusing more on the stories. 8 invites to coaching, 29 invites to the challenge group. And I wasn't tracking my follow-up, but is that like even people like who have ghosted you and you're trying to okay, then there's probably about 100 that I've done.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes I include the invite with the follow-up as one because it's like a follow-up is still an invite.
Gotcha.
I don't know. That's how I see it. But Rebecca, sorry, this was kind of last minute, but.
Yeah, no, I did. I wrote it down. I did 4 posts in the last 7 days. All of them have a coaching spin to them. So even though somebody might like be a picture that's unrelated or might seem unrelated, I spin it back in every one. I think I'm just missing more like pictures and content. So that's where I'm struggling most in getting like that number up at the moment. Invites, too many to count. I think like I went through and quickly jotted like 25 down. Follow-ups is only at 4 and only 1 coaching convo.
All right. And then Mandy.
I was actually driving home until like 10 minutes before this. Caleb was driving and I was like finalizing my stuff. So I don't actually have the numbers, but the last 2 days I've just been taking care of my mom because she's had 1 of her 2 knee replacements. She just had her first one. And so the last 2 days I've literally spent like all day, every day. Like I haven't had to work, just like posting and following up with people. So I know that I have really high numbers. I just don't know what they are. So for my posts, I've posted 5 in the last week. If we were including like a week ago today, then it would be 6. And one of them was an Instagram TV about like anxiety and how coaching has helped that and just like being a part of this. And they were all Beachbody related except one, which was a picture of my husband and I, and that was about like marriage and dating. I don't know is there another one that I'm missing? Like follow-ups? Oh, I invited like 11 people to the coach sneak peek, and I've been messaging all the girls that are discount coaches and asking if they're interested in actually coaching.
today. So I haven't gotten anything back of anyone that wants to coach yet. Most people have either like not read it or not replied.
Sure.
So
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Kate.
Okay, so tonight we're chatting, and Mandy, perfect segue there. She's going to be leading us through a short talk about how she has really just gained momentum in her first few weeks coaching. So a little bit of background, and she started coaching July 11th, so literally not even a month ago. She hit Success Club 16 in July. She's already at Success Club 16 for August, which is incredible. So like in her first 3 weeks, 16 people have joined her, and that is really cool. And she signed 7 or 8 coaches so far. So she's well on her way to Diamond. She's on fire on her social media, and her excitement and passion is just clear. And she portrays that really well to her audience. So she's going to tell us steps that she's taken in these last 3 weeks to get her to this point. So Mandy, take it away.
Yes. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, and then I couldn't figure out how to get the one that you guys would see on that computer. So I actually have my husband's computer right here. So that's the one with the notes and the timer. So I'll kind of be looking over there, but I'll share my screen for mine, and then I'll get this pulled up for you guys. How do I? Oh, there we go. I'm trying to figure out how to get this up. Maybe I'll just leave it over here and X out of this. Okay, hang on.
Love the PowerPoint.
I've never done this before. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. I just can't see you guys, but I mean, that's fine. Stop me if you have a question. So I titled it Finding and Sharing Joy my first month. So I'm going to start my timer because I don't want to go 40 minutes this time. Okay. So this is kind of what the outline will be. You can just kind of like quickly glance through that, but I'm going to get started. So I just kind of wrote in like the different areas that I've been like talking about and how Beachbody has helped me. And I kind of touch on these in my stories almost every day. I post like, I kind of think it's annoying how long my stories have been lately, but people have really been replying to them. And so I think it's good, but I just never used to post this much, but I just want to share all about it. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and you can just kind of look through these. I would encourage you guys to kind of go through and like maybe write down your things that bring you joy in each of these areas, and then kind of assess if you've been doing well at every aspect, which is kind of hard, but the thing I wanted to touch on was the mental. So Romans 12:2, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That is something that one of my mentors used to go to a therapist who had her keep a journal of all of her thoughts. And she said that it was really, really helpful for her because she didn't recognize the lies that she was believing until she was sharing that with someone and like writing everything down that she was thinking about. So if you're kind of like lacking in the other areas, like I would just really encourage you to think about your thoughts because yeah, it can just really help if you're struggling with like fear or comparison or doubt or anything like that. So that is like the biggest part of this slide, I think. But these are just things that I've been working on. In emotional, I put therapy and meds if you guys have that. But obviously this helps in that area too. So how I share about this. So My biggest thing that I do is I make the messages way more personal. It does take a lot of time, and right now, since I'm so new, I'm still working on my warm market, which I want to FaceTime Kate more about getting that done, where you have like you pay for people to follow you and stuff like that, because I want to get started on that, because eventually I will run out of people. But right now I'm making sure that if they're a mom, I'm saying like, hey mama, I know that you love staying home with your baby, and my workouts have been so great for me. I found so much joy. If they're a student and they're busy, just say like, this would be easy to do in a dorm room in between classes. Full-time professionals, I always talk about how there are people that do this and they're able to do it early before work. I had a girl the other day message me, and I've known her since I was like 5, and I didn't know that she was a traveling, like her work has her travel, but she was telling me that she has access to gyms, but it's hard for her because she doesn't have any accountability. And so like just personalize it to where they're at, and that's something that has helped me so much, because I want to share like how I would like to be shared too, if that makes sense. So kind of like the love languages. I really want people to actually be interested in me and not just copy and paste a message. And something that really changed this for me was when I watched a YouTube video. You guys have probably seen it. I don't know if it's the one Beachbody like recommends you watch, but it talks about like sharing out of a servant heart, which I will go into later. But I did not do that like the first week or so, because since I signed up like July 11th, I was really nervous about not hitting Success Club, because it was like almost July 20th or something, and I still didn't have anyone signed up. And so it was literally like the last 10 days of July that I hit Success Club 16. And I think it was because like I stopped like sending out those messages that were copied and pasted and didn't even have the people's names in it. It was just like, hey girl, how's it going? Like, and when I used to get those messages, I wouldn't reply to them. And I went back and saw like how many people I sent that to. And I was just like, dang, I could have done so much better at making this like a personal connection for people. So yeah, that's like the main thing that I do. And the next thing I put, share all the things, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So for me, this meant posting videos of myself working out, because when I first started, I was almost 220 pounds and I hadn't worked out in like 3 years. And when I did work out like 3 years ago, it was only for a couple months. And then before that, it was in high school. And so I'm just not in shape, and a lot of the moves I can't do. And so it was really scary for me to post that. And I also didn't have any like cute clothes to wear. Like I was just kind of letting fear get to me in that way. But in posting about the modifiers, people absolutely love it, because they're like, oh, I'm not in shape either. And so I meet with a mentor every week, and she really poured into me that like my story and like sharing it authentically and just like posting like the raw stuff that is really hard is going to bring people in, and it totally has. So another thing that I shared, I kind of already mentioned it, but I made an Instagram TV video one of the nights that I was at my parents'. It was actually the day my mom had surgery, and I was going to take care of the dogs because they had to stay overnight in Iowa City. I was sitting there, my husband wasn't there, and I was just really thinking about a conversation I had at work with someone about the workouts, and I just told her how much my anxiety has been so much less, but I hadn't posted about this at all on social media yet. So I was really challenged and like convicted of like, I need to share about how anxious I used to be versus how little anxiety I'm having to handle and deal with now. And I made a 15-minute long video, just kind of like talking about going to therapy as a child and how anxiety has kind of been in and out of my life. And lately it was really bad, and not being able to find a teaching job, and then how Beachbody found me and how my anxiety has gotten way better. And I was so nervous to post that video. I was literally praying about it, and I was like, I know that someone needs this, but I don't want to do it. And I had like 4 girls message me, and I think 3 of them signed up. And so just share all about the things, and people will relate to it, and someone needs you. So that's about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
show up every day and share all the things that bring you joy. So my main point with this is before you had Beachbody, you were already not only, but probably mostly only sharing about things that bring you joy on Instagram. We all love the posts of girls cellulite and like rolls and stuff where they're actually being real. But most of the time it's filtered. We get to pick what we post. You're already sharing about things that bring you joy. This is a new thing that brings you joy and you get to share about it. So just show up every day and share all about it. So you needed this and they still do. So as far as fear, it seriously used to cripple me. I think in that video that I posted, I kind of talked about this, but I gave up social media for Lent. And then when I got back on, I was like even more anxious and scared to share things on social media because I knew a few people followed me that didn't like me. And all I could think about was what they were going to think of me. Do not let fear talk you out of sharing this. There are going to be people who don't get you, and that's fine. But there are people that need you, and this is a gift, and you get to help people and encourage them. Schedule out your days. We talk about this all the time, but obviously wake up, read, work out, and share about it all. People will notice if you're doing this daily, and even if you think it's a small thing, you're missing out on helping others if you're not sharing this time. And this can kind of be like a reality check for you if you haven't been doing these things. Something that's been kind of hard for me is I work second shift. And so I don't wake up at 5 a.m. because I don't get home until midnight or 1. And so my workouts are usually around 11, give or take an hour-ish. But people know that I work at Roadhouse, and so it's not like I don't know. I hope they're not like talking about how I should be doing it in the morning, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Make sure you're getting rest. Spend the time inviting and reaching out and plan ahead. So Kate always talks about laying out her clothes, which I've started doing. That helps so much. I always have content ready to go on plan for the next day. My husband is like so against being an Instagram husband, but he has been that for me. And I always talk about how jealous I am that Kate has Cole to take all of her pictures with lighting and all the good things, because Caleb is just like so annoyed every time I ask him. But I always have it ready before I go to bed, and then I'm excited to post about it when I wake up instead of having like anxiety. So if you're struggling with content, try starting the day before and having that ready, and then when you wake up, that's one less thing that you have to worry about. Be consistent. So this is kind of like, I don't know, this slide. I think the main thing I'm going to talk about, because most of it you already know or you've already heard probably. We do have a new coach, so I don't want to like discredit you, but you can read through it. I'm going to talk about cultivate and lean into the community and build relationships. So the girls that I have had a lot of people sign up with me, and I've just started, and I never was in a challenge group. So Kate just had me add them into hers and the other coaches, and I'm not in charge of posting anything. I have posted certain like encouraging things in the group, but I don't have my own challenge group. So I've kind of been trying to figure out what I'm going to do for community for my girls, because I do want something that's just me and them. Not to like cut other people out, but I want to build that community like within the people that I sign up. So what I did was I made a Facebook message, and for about a week, all that was happening was I was posting. So like Monday I posted part of my devotional and just encouraged them to spend time with God. And then I posted a progress picture this week. I wasn't sure if I was going to post it on Instagram or not. I ended up doing it because I just felt like I should, but I was mostly talking, but one girl commented or sent a message and just said like, I don't know if this belongs here, but I have a prayer request. And she was telling us about something that was happening in her life, and other girls were replying and saying that they were praying for her. And then she replied and said that the prayer was answered. So like, that was the coolest thing, because it's barely been a week that we've been in this message together, and there's already those relationships being formed. And with almost being a teacher, like that is so important in the classroom, and that's so important in this too. And so that really, really encouraged me. So that is the main thing on that slide. So I've already touched on this a little bit, but leading with a servant heart. So we get to bless people and help them with what they need. So what I do when I talk to people is I try and hear like their fear, which usually ties into their why when they're talking to me. So the other day I got lunch with a friend who was in my wedding, but I haven't seen her since my wedding. and she has a 9-month-old baby boy, and we got lunch in Des Moines, and then we just went shopping. But she was like, I want to hear more about like your workouts and stuff. And as I was talking to her, she like confessed to me, and I'm the first person she's ever told that she struggles with postpartum depression. And she is a very low key, like go with the flow kind of person. Like she doesn't like drama. She doesn't really open up much. She doesn't share her feelings. Like she's the kind of person where like, if you're hanging out with her and she doesn't say I love you, like she says like text me when you get home safe. Like she does not share her feelings. And like she opened up to me about that. And so like I told her my why is my future kids and your why is your son, and he's already here. So like she is kind of talking about how she wants to start coaching, but she just left for vacation today. They get back in a week, and then she wants to sign up. And she's actually going with another one of my friends who we were in a wedding together in October, and she was pregnant then, but now she has a baby girl. And so I just really see God working in that. And that friend isn't a Christian, but I just see like the things that she needs. And then I was able to help them with her with what she's looking for, and also the other mom friend that I have. So there's community in this, there's structure. My friend that shared that with me was telling me that nothing makes her happy anymore. Nothing brings her joy. She's so anxious. She gets so irritable and angry. And I was just able to like share my testimony with her. And back when I was like sending out all those mass messages, I was not like thinking about the people that I was going to help. Like I just wanted to hit Success Club. And it's kind of easy to get into that mindset at first, but then like you actually start listening to people, and like we literally get to bless people and we get to share with them like the coolest gift. And so it's just something where like now, like even when I bring this up to people, I'm just like, does this sound like something you need too? And like they'll share with me like, yeah, I've really struggled with having a morning routine, or yes, I've gained so much weight and I'm so unhappy with myself. Like combat what they're saying with how you can help them. So that's my main point from that slide. So places that I've sold, Beachbody. Facebook was my first person. She was one of my regulars from the Cedar Falls, Texas Roadhouse. I live in Ames now, so I transferred there. And I posted my first ever like working out picture and shared it to Facebook. And she replied and was like, dang, this is seriously awesome that you're doing this. Like I could use this. Please tell me more. And it took her like a freaking week to sign up. And I thought she was going to sign up. Like I did not know that you share a cart and people don't buy it right away. So I was like messaging her every single day for like 6 days. Like, hey, just wanted to know if you bought it yet, even though I can see that she hasn't. Like, I'm like, let me know right away so I can add you into our accountability group. And she finally signed up. So my first place was Facebook, and now I link all my Instagram stories to Facebook because I've had a lot more interaction from people on Facebook, encouragement from people, just people knowing that I do this. So like if they're struggling, they know they can reach out to me. Obviously Instagram, I've had a lot of people reply from Instagram. Coolest story ever. The third image is like a house. So Caleb and I are trying to move next door, and we are looking for a subleaser. So we thought we had someone. He was someone that we found through church, and we were really praying that it would be someone our age and Christian. And so at first we were like, we're just going to post in our church's young adult ministry page. And if we can't find anyone there, like we probably just won't move. Our neighbors bought a house, and so their house is the same price as ours, but it's way bigger. And so we want to move there so that I can have an office and a workout room, and we can have a spare bedroom. Anyways, whoever moves into our house now is going to be our neighbor. So this girl replies, I finally made a Facebook message because our neighbors were getting anxious. We didn't have a subleaser yet. This girl replies to me. She's our age. She's a Christian. She has a 14-month-old daughter. And she drove over an hour to come to our house and to see everything and like check it out. She ended up staying for 3 hours, hanging out with us and her daughter before I had to go to work. And by the time she left my house, she signed up to be a Beachbody discount coach. And when she first came over, I looked worse than this. Like I haven't showered after my workout today because I was at my parents'. But so my workout stuff was still out everywhere. I didn't really like think she was going to sign up, but I jokingly said to Caleb, like, okay, the goal today with this girl is to get her to sign up and to be, or to get her to lease our house, sublease our house, and to be part of Beachbody. And I'm not kidding. Like, she asked me about my workouts and I was just able to like show her the product. She tried my pre-workout. She saw my Morning Meltdown 100 calendar. She signed up, and when she moves in a couple of weeks, we're going to do the workouts together. So that is like the coolest God thing ever. And the other thing is places that I've sold is Roadhouse. So for Roadhouse, I have Jenna, Ashley, Emily, and Autumn already signed up. Jenna is my manager. Ashley is my manager. Jenna works in the kitchen, like she cooks steaks. Emily is a new server, and Autumn is the most shy. I have never talked to her in my life, but we closed together the other night. She works fry, and we don't talk at all. But I just asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to work out with me? And she is just so awkward and cute. She was like, sure. And I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so I was telling her all about it. And she's like, well, I don't get paid until tomorrow. Is that fine? And that was 2 days ago. She messaged me yesterday saying she couldn't afford it. And then today she signed up. And so when I ask people at Roadhouse, I also have 3 other people that are pending. So that's like 7 people that I've just asked in person if they want to work out with me. So what I say is like, hey, do you want to work out with me? And they usually are like, sure, where, when? And I'm like, we have our workouts on a program that's like Netflix, and you can do it anywhere. Like, I love it because I don't have to go to the gym, and I already pay rent, so why would I want to pay for a gym fee? And they're like, yeah, that's really awesome. Like, I really hate going to the gym, or I can't find one that's affordable here, which was like the hardest thing for me. And they're like, I really need to get back into shape. And so that has been so cool. Like, when I first joined, I heard someone saying like, you might be one of the 1% that asks people in person about this, but like, I love asking people in person because I get to like see how much they need this, and then I get to follow up with them at work, and it's just the coolest thing. So I've sold a lot at Roadhouse. I encourage you, if you're a part of a church or if you're a part of some community, to ask people in person and literally just say, hey, do you want to work out with me? I have 1 more minute. I'm going to go through this, and this is like my last slide. So
hey, really quick, sorry, don't want to interrupt you, but I know we all get price objections all the time. And so, for example, the girl that was like, I can't afford it, and then sign up the next day, what do you say to those people, and how do you get them to do it anyways?
I said for her, I knew I'd be able to see her at work. And for this is an example of that kind of, but I have one more promo code that I was going to give to a girl today, and I accidentally gave her the wrong one and it didn't go through, but she wanted to do it so bad that she signed up anyways and was just like, yeah, it cost me the $10 extra, but it's only $10. So I usually just like don't offer the promo code right away. And if they object, I'm like, and like, I have this and I would love to give it to you because I know how much you need this, and like, all of that. So I usually push with the promo code. The other thing I do is in this slide right here. So this was the initial interaction with this girl. And this was kind of like a message that I copied and pasted, but I added her name. And she never replied. And then 4 days later, I put up a before and after picture, and she replied to that. And then she said, I've been so stuck physically, emotionally. I think this would help me so much. I definitely think it's something I'd be interested in. What's the cost, the accountability? Are the workouts on my phone or TV? And I talked to her for like hours. And then the next day she messaged me because she quit replying. She's like, I'm sorry, I got busy last night. I think it's something that would help me, but I'm not sure if it fits the budget right now. So this is an example of what I say to that. I say, like, I validate them and tell them, like, I hear you and I felt that, but I think that you're worth investing in. And I say it's only $13.30 a month since you're paying for a whole year of workouts. And it also comes with the month's supply of pre and post workout. And then I say, like, you need this. I believe in you. And then she didn't reply that day. And then she said, I'm sorry, I just signed up for a gym membership. I think I'm going to put my money towards that. And like right here, she said like she needs more than what she has. So I'm like, you can still use this at your gym. Plus it'll help you. You don't have to plan your workouts. And she said, okay. So then I posted the video about the anxiety. And then I messaged her like a seriously thoughtful message. Like, I know that you said that you have a gym membership. I really want to help you start feeling more confident. This doesn't fit your budget, but I just got word that I'm getting 6 more $10 off promo codes. And so this was like August 1st that I was able to tell her about the promo codes. And this is literally the coolest thing. Her next message, the more I thought about this, the more I feel like I need to do this. I feel like each thing you post, I relate with so much, whether there's still a promo code or not. I feel like I need to do this. I just watched your video talking about your anxiety, and that's where I am right now. So anyways, she was about to go on vacation, she says here, and she wants to relax and not work out. But she said, like, thank you for being vulnerable. So, like, she said whether there's a promo code or not. And so I was able to reassure her about the price. I was able to offer her cheaper. And then she recognized from what I was posting that, like, she does need this. And so those are a couple ways that I, like, combat costs. Like, I tell them, like, I was there. I didn't want to pay this either, but this is all that you get with it. And, like, seriously, like, tell them from the heart why you love it and offer promo codes if you have them. And then the last thing that I have is a quote. It says, a good job should employ God-given talents in a way that glorifies him. So that's my goal in this. Hopefully some of that was helpful. I don't know if you guys have any questions or.
That was amazeballs.
Thanks.
That was really good. So first off, everybody, the reason new coaches can explode so quickly is because they tap into their warm market right away. You don't have to gain their trust. They already know who you are. They already know where you come from. She tapped into her warm market. And then I feel like the second biggest thing was she talked to their needs. She asked them, hey, what do you need? What are you struggling with? She listened to them and then spoke to their needs that they shared with her. So we have less than a minute left. I just want to say, Mandy, that was freaking awesome. Kate, do you have anything to say?
No, I just don't think I've ever heard a need that can't be solved with our product or what we have to offer. And if you find one you're struggling with, post it in the team page and we'll help you out, because I just haven't ran into one that isn't, though. So
Totally.
Great job, Mandy.
Amazing job. Thanks for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry it was so long. I tried being shorter, but then I had to answer that question.
Quick boom.
Yep. Boomerang on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll tag you guys. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it. And I will post the recording.
Cool. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.